So as you know, for many months, and especially the past few weeks, I've been pleading with the political and media class in this country, especially Mr. Quiff himself, Keir Starmer, to focus on what really matters to Brits. Any true patriot would not continue to push for political paralysis over months-old partygate revelations with a focus on whether a damned cake was removed from a Tupperware container in the middle of 2020, for God's sake. No, any politician who wanted the best for Britain would have a laser focus on what really matters to the vast majority of voters, the cost of living crisis. Today, Boris Johnson did exactly what the PM should be doing. He banged cabinet heads together and demanded his ministers provide a concrete battle plan on easing that growing predicament. Well, in a delicious piece of irony, I never thought the senior politician who would agree with me that Starmer's partygate obsession is deeply damaging not only to the country but to Labour's electoral prospects would be his very own senior front bencher. But credit to Shadow Secretary of State for Levelling Up Housing and Communities, Lisa Nandy, who has finally privately called out Starmer for his nonsense. More on that in just a moment. But for anyone who doubts that Starmer and Labour aren't completely and utterly obsessed with partygate, let me just remind you of the past few days.
Even now, as the latest mealy-mouthed apology stumbles out of one side of his mouth, a new set of deflections and distortions pour from the other. If the Prime Minister had any respect for John, and the millions like him who sacrificed everything to follow the rules, he'd resign. Why did the Prime Minister's press secretary, Allegra Stratton, have to resign from her job? Why does the Prime Minister think everybody else's actions have consequences except his own? Does the Prime Minister actually accept that he broke the law? How can the Prime Minister claim to be a patriot when he deliberately attacks and degrades the institutions of our great country?
Why are you focusing relentlessly on parties?
Well, I want to talk about the cost of living, and I'm very happy to talk about the cost of living. Yeah. Well, as I say, why were we in Parliament on Tuesday with the Prime Minister? Because he got a crime. He got a fine.
This will damage our democracy if the Prime Minister is seen to have broken his own laws and get away with it. This isn't just about him breaking his rules. This is about a Prime Minister in office breaking his rules and then trying to lie to the public and lie to Parliament and get away with it.
Why do we need another investigation?
Well, again, months and months of the Prime Minister just trying to say nothing to see here, let's move on, are we all bored of Partygate? It's not just about him breaking his rules. He broke his rules and then tried to get away with it and lied to Parliament and lied to the British public. It's pretty clear he did mislead Parliament. It's pretty astounding that he thinks he can say there was no parties. When he's found out these parties, it's outrageous. We didn't know there was parties going on. Then when he was found out to have been at the parties, he's saying, I didn't know it was a party.
It was a bit of cake
it's
in
ridiculous.
a Tupperware box.
It's not a bit of cake in a Tupperware box.
He cannot have come to Parliament and truthfully said that no parties had taken place and no rules had been broken. So therefore, he's breached the ministerial code. It's his code. He's judge and jury about it. If he's broken the ministerial code, what is he going to do about it? He should resign.
Hashtag obsessed. And it is this obsession from Starmer that has resulted in yet another Labour Party behind-the-scenes civil war. So according to today's Daily Mail, his front bencher, Lisa Nandy, in respect to her, she warned Starmer he risks looking out of touch if the party continues to put lockdown rule breaches above pocketbook issues. The Wigan MP raised her concerns during a shadow cabinet meeting last week, the newspaper reported. But Starmer won't listen. He's an Islington member of the champagne-swilling metropolitan elite, which wants to bring Boris Johnson down at almost any cost, with the added bonus of putting Brexit at threat. But voters, who are rightly angry about the lockdown rule breaks, just like I was, by the way, but we're wise to what really matters and are becoming sick of this never-ending and exhausting farce. For once, Lisa Nandy was completely right. The chance of Starmer seeing sense? I say zero. He marches to the beat of the BBC's drum on this issue.